Just imagine a world where there was no number two. If there was no number two, we would not exist. Let me explain. It takes two energies, it takes two forms, it takes the opposite sexes of two opposite sexes to form a new being in all life species on earth. The male and the female energies attract each other. In the human form, it is through sensuality. And then the act of consummating the relationship happens and a new being is born. We have two hands, two legs, two eyes, two parts of the brain, two parts of every organ, most organs, two chambers of the heart. Everything about us is about the number two to a large degree. If you look into space, if you look into the stars, new stars are born because the alpha and the gamma rays, two different energies collide. New stars are born, new beings are formed. Even the creation of the earth was the attraction of two energy systems, which happened billions of years back, or millions of years back. And over a period of time, species of life evolved and two energies attracted and new species of life were born and the evolution of humans have occurred. Now we know that the number two is very important. Not just in the formation of life species, the creation of us humans, for which the number two is most important. We've also moved into an age of 2000 in terms of our human understanding of the years that goes by. The energy of life is what the number and the sign of two shows us the way. It symbolizes the energy of life of our earth. And once we respect the energy of life, symbolized by two forces of life meeting to form one energy of life, which again has two different energy sources which helps the life prosper into the future. Humans are born out of the male and female species, and whatever kind of sex is of the baby, once it grows up, it again has two choices: to move with the energy of life or to sink, fighting the energy of life. The only solution that we can have as humans is to move with the source code of our own creation, of our own oxygen, for the reason that we are living. And all of our discoveries into the future will flourish, thrive, evolve, and a new being of life system of earth will evolve towards health, wealth, and spiritual prosperity for humans, as well as every species of life. The energy of the source code of life will prevail. We must understand that since we are in the years of 2000, the energy of the universe symbolized by the number two as well as symbol of we in bracket, in a sense, is the energy of life of the world we live in, the energy of the source of creation. And respecting that energy of the source of creation will bring us blessings. And disrespecting that source of creation, the source of life of our universe, will bring us enormous curse, depending on our attitude towards the source code of life. Just imagine humans had the best of machines, ability, as well as the best of human ability. In terms of the very essence of technology, the best of human beings in terms of ability of IQ, in terms of brain power, in terms of analytical skills, in terms of IQ as well as intelligence quotient and emotional quotient. Plus, the best of machinery and electronics. The systems that you see on your mobile phone as of today, enhanced hundreds of times in the next 50 years, which will be a part of the physical system. So humans can evolve in the next hundreds, 50 years, 200 years, with the best of human potential as of now, and the best of machine potential within human systems, and also extended by deep learning, quantum computers, and evolvement of biological technologies which resembles the cells which function within the human body and other species of life. The billions of cells which are interconnected, which requires less power. This will be the future of human evolution. Just imagine today you had Isaac Newton in terms of the brain power. You had the best ability of humans to make physical movement, the best ability of endurance, the best ability of moving at the fastest pace, the best ability of a calmness of mind, the best ability of humans to calculate and also have an emotional equilibrium. The best of both worlds will be a part of humanity. We will be able to culture the cells. The initial gene of human baby, the initial first cell will be cultured that it has the best abilities which humans have known today, enhanced 100 times in terms of human babies, which might just occur in the next 50 to 100 years. Now, with such evolvement of technologies, it is very crucial for us to be with the energies of life, the energies of the earth, which provides us with the basic oxygen, would be that source of power, that fuel for us to go into new realms of technologies without respecting the basic essence of life. All of our technologies will go to dust. It will be for the destruction of humans. We cannot allow malicious energies, vermin energies to get into high realms of fields of knowledge with the bad intent. We will curtail such forces and get humanity to think, the vast majority of humans to think along with the energies of the universe which sustain life, thereby the technologies of humans moving along with the source code of life for the future generations will be at its best potential. Let's replenish our earth. You might go on a trek on any particular place in the world. You can trek in the most beautiful places where you find the abode of nature, the greenery, the expanse. A trek across the tea fields, which gives nourishing tea. A trek across beautiful green plains of lands, green meadows with rivers, lakes, flowers. Also, you can take a trek in the desert where there is absolutely no life in terms of plant species or the regular animal species that you see in a desert. But still, within the desert, there are species of life. You see the cactus plants, you see the desert insects and reptiles. You can also, by some chance, see camels who have adapted to the desert. Now you take a trek to the mountains. The mountains can be either harsh or it can be green or pristine. But when you take a trek to the mountain which has not been inhabited by humans, which has not experienced the beauty of the rains, those mountains will be dry. And when you take a trek up those hills, you'll find the most inhospitable granite structures or the likes. But even in those areas, there is life which has adapted. You see some of the mountain goats which climb the highest of mountains, which are completely barren. And then it goes and tries to eat certain kind of salt which is right up the hill in a very steep area, and just a slip of its balance will make it the ultimate fall over thousands of feet. But still the mountain goat takes the risk to take that salt, and many mountain goats perish while they are climbing the hill. Now, a trek on Mount Everest is also an achievement. And when people trek the Mount Everest, there are also many kinds of animals. The yak, the ice yak, the mountain animals which help people living in the Everest areas, not up the Everest, but at many thousands of feet below, have a good life, which includes all of the livestock which they treat as their friends in terms of survival. And when you take a trek, you are in the most unhospitable areas with extreme ice. But once people reach the top, it's a sense of achievement. It's a sense of deja vu. Now, treks across different fields of lands has different experiences. And each of those land terrains have unique animals who have adapted to those conditions. And this has happened throughout the evolution of history, because those animals, those people, those species of life were stationed within those areas. And they've adapted to the climate and the lifestyle which is needed for those areas, and also the physical structures of their bodies, of the animals, of the tribes, of the living species has adapted to the conditions, whether it be a good and wonderful condition, just like the valleys, or the harshest of condition. The evolution has helped those animals survive in those terrains. Now humans have the ability to move into every terrain. They can move into the best of valleys. They can move right onto the ocean. They can go right up to Mount Everest, the topmost area, the most easiest of fashion. They can climb the highest of terrains, which are most difficult in the human sense, because they have the gift of creativity. And creativity, especially in the last 150 years, has enabled humans to transcend all the barriers of not just to trek, all the physical barriers, and be at any place on earth in the most efficient way. Now into the future we will have the greatest of technologies, making our lives on earth much more easier, much more better. And the creative force can only be used for the goodness of the way we live on earth, for the goodness of every life force on earth, the life-sustaining forces of the unborn generation and our present children. This will be the essence of what we should do on earth as of now. And in turn, blessings are ours, because we are solving the greatest of challenges through creativity. And the unborn generations are thanking us, even if they are not there at present now, because we are working in today in terms of the future, of our world, of our universe, of our country, of our society, and of our individual selves and the unborn children. Let's replenish our earth. If you're flying in the airplane, one of the biggest problems which you might face in terms of the comfort of the travel would be air pockets within the system of the clouds and the environment of the skies. While an aircraft is in flight, when there's an air pocket, there seems to be some kind of disturbance within the flight. And sometimes it can go into extremes, as we see in certain flights as of now. But if the flight is strong, it will withstand any kind of air pocket and also the turbulence associated with it. But it is the goodness of the people within the plane and the equilibrium of their attitude and their sense of being and their mind waves being in a kind of tranquil setting. Even if air pockets come and if there is a seat belt, they will be able to withstand and also enjoy the flight, maybe as an adventure also if there is air pockets. But at the same time, if our minds are not still and if our minds are kind of conditioned to go into extremes of emotions, any kind of air pocket within the flight and a small turbulence will get us into different degrees of extreme emotions and associated turmoil. And you know the end result of such kind of mindset. So no matter what kind of air pockets come in your life, what kind of hindrances come in your life, what kind of problems come in your life, the purpose with the universal force is all that matters. It is that wonderful aircraft that you're flying in, which will withstand any kind of air pockets, which will make the flight a kind of adventure. Your life will turn into an adventure once you have moved with a clear sense of purpose for working with the source code of life, the energies of the universe which sustain life for every life form on earth. And once your life is with a clear purpose to serve in the present, in professions, in fields of work, in companies, in different ideas, you're contributing in the present, solving big challenges for the present generations. Maybe 100 people, 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people and more. Maybe the different apps that you develop on different platforms of the mobile platforms as we see today. Or it might be any kind of idea which will germinate in terms of being useful for the future generations. It can be energy systems which will be renewable power systems and the likes of ideas. And when you work in the smallest field to the highest dimension in any kind of field of work, company, profession, in the present, solving challenges for the present and for the unborn generations, you are that wonderful aircraft flying through turbulence with a clear sense of purpose. Your purpose is with the source code of life, with the energy systems of the universe which has predated humans, which has been there for millions of years, providing life to the earth, and you're providing a solution for that life system into the future, the energy system of the universe, and you're drawing into that power of the universal energies for your present life on earth. Your present life on earth is moving into abundance because you are working in the present for the future energy systems of the earth, and thereby blessings are yours. No one is giving the blessings to you. You're moving into the power source of energy of the universe, which sustains every life form, not just on earth, but within the universe. Let's replenish our earth. When you're driving, and especially when you're driving on terrains which are not very hospitable to the vehicle, which might be very rough roads on top of hills, and it might be very pristine areas, but the hill and the climb would be kind of very steep, and the road would not be very conducive because it might be full of potholes and kind of small obstructions which make it difficult for the vehicle to move on top. But while the vehicle is moving with the potholes, with all of the obstructions. You are fully energized to look into the next obstruction which your vehicle might face. And thereby all of your senses are tuned to move the vehicle in the best way, in the most hardest of places on earth. But at the sometimes on the highway, when you're traveling at the fastest speeds, you become very calm and your mind kind of varies, and you lose your clear direction sometimes. You might take it very lightly, and that's the time when things can go out of hand. It might not be in the rough patch, it might not be in the worst of roads that you might find it very difficult in terms of life and death. Although you will be very conscious about life and death in very steep climbings, you would be very conscious about your next step. Thereby, usually, and in most cases, you will reach your destination. But it might not be in a very clear road. In life also, it will be the same. Once we take it very easy and go along with life, thinking that we do not have to do anything in terms of replenishing our earth, replenishing ourselves, making us very strong. If we do not have hindrances in life, if we do not have problems in life, it will be a highway where we can go haywire. We might lose our concentration and go out of sync. It is very important for us to have the pain in life. It is very important for us to have problems in life. And with the purpose, your direction will be clear. The purpose is what counts at the end of the day. It's a light at the end of the tunnel. The hindrances, the problems which come in your way will be that adventurous travel which you will have, which helps your energies of your mind, body, spirit concentrate on your end goal. As humans, we will go out of track many times because that's the nature of human. But it is that vision within your subconscious along with the purpose which makes your journey unique, which makes you reach your destination, irrespective of you being within the body or outside the body. Once you are with the purpose of the universal source code of life, you're moving into the source code of eternity. And within your body on earth and outside your body on earth, once you contribute in your conscious mind to do things in the present, to work on professions in the present, to work on ideas in the present for the future generations, you're moving into that source code of eternity of life. And you're having a meaning in the yesterday, today and tomorrow, the eternity of time. Let's replenish our earth. Around 5,000 years back, there was a family who lived within a forest. And that forest was a bamboo forest. The bamboo forest they moved into was because of some troubles they had within the city. And the only option they had was to move outside from the city into the forest and build a bamboo hut. And we understand that the bamboo hut is very secure, it will withstand any kind of climate from the outside. And it will provide security to the family. So the family built a bamboo forest. The family was 5 members. They had the livestock, they had the cows, the sheep, the chicken, the other animals, which provided them the life, they provided them the nourishment. But did not think of the livestock as we see today, which is just a number for humans to take advantage of. But in their time, the livestock were companions, they were the best friends. And they grew with the livestock and they respected the systems of life. The cows which gave them milk, they really blessed the cows before drinking the milk. They had a very good relationship with all of their animals which provided them with life, and also they had the best of cultivation within the area. They're the best of vegetables. The tomatoes, the onions, the potatoes, the brinjal, the carrots, cucumber, and all kinds of vegetable produce was of the best, because the bamboo forest provided shelter as well as sunlight. It provided both the systems of life for them, and they were kind of very happy The family grew in size, around 10 members of small children as well as the family as a whole. They enjoyed the system of life within the forest, and they began to believe that the reason that they were moved out of the city was for a blessing. They had problems within the city and they were cast out of the city, and then they built the house within this bamboo forest. Their family was blessed with a wonderful life along with the living systems. The bamboo area, the bamboo forest gave them a new realm of life which they started to enjoy. But over a period of 7 years, after 7 years, they started to smell smoke coming from a near distance. And when the elder member of the family went outside and checked out, it was a forest fire. The forest fire was moving towards the bamboo hut. The family had no other option but to gather the most important possessions which they had in terms of carrying with them. The most beloved possessions which they could carry, they took it and they ran for their lives. The forest fire was coming towards their house. It burned up their house and they were engulfed in grief. The wonderful life they had for 7 years in that wonderful bamboo forest was being eaten by the flames. They got extremely sorrowful. And as they were running, they saw the animals. The other cows, the sheep, the cattle, all of them were running for their lives. But as they were running, they made sure that they showed the way to the other animals so that they could escape from the forest area. And then they came to a large open field. And then they told those animals in their own sign language that this is the area where we can live. And they showed them the areas where they could graze in the green grass. The remorseful family who was stricken by grief because their house was burned down with the forest fire had now an opportunity to create a house within this open field, which was around 50 acres of area. In today's calculations, it was a pristine green area, but it had also a lake which covered 3/4 of the land area, around the land area. What they did was they extended that lake to encircle the entire land area. This time, the wise man within the family told them that we had problems in the city and we had to go into the forest because we had no option. We did not think about what might happen in future. The systems of the forest are such that sometimes every 10 years there is forest fire in small degrees so that the soil replenishes. The soil gets all of the minerals back. The charcoal within the fire invigorates the soil, and that's the system of the forest. We did not recognize that, and we built a house there without thinking that there might be a forest fire. Now we have an open space. God, the God of our faith, has given us a chance once again within this beautiful fertile field to build a new house with clear planning, clear thinking along with the systems of life of nature. We must respect the very system of life of nature of the forest. We must not engulf onto the system of life of the forest without thinking and planning for the goodness of the forest systems. Now we have an opportunity. He created an encircled lake around the area which they were living within the plains. The grass fields became a beautiful source of new life for the family. They grew rice around the grass fields which was nourished by the lake all around it. They had the best of cattle, the sheep. They had more cattle, more sheep, because those sheep which escaped the forest fire, the cattle which escaped the forest fire, were their friends, in some sense, along with the source code of life, because they were helping the life of the family. The family grew abundantly into a membership of more than 50 members, and each of them were given different tasks to maintain within the 50 acres. They made it into one of the most beautiful areas for humans to survive and thrive and evolve. They built the best of bamboo huts once again, this time with the protection of the lake all around it, so that if there was a forest fire coming into the land area, it will not move into the area of where they were living. So they planned a system along with the systems of life of the universal force of life that sustains every life on earth. They moved with the system of the earth. They knew that there will be forest fires, and they took precautions according to it. The forest fire was a way of renewal for the forest, to get more nourishing soil and grow better forest. Once they respected the systems of life and took clear planning so that the systems of life of the earth were in its best natural form, and they planned to survive, thrive and evolve in a new system of life which protected them by respecting the basic source of life. And that's the reason that the family grew, they prospered in health, wealth and spiritual wellness, because they were one with the source code of life. This will be the lesson for us into the future. And as of today also, in any kind of field of work, we cannot move into the field of nature. We cannot take the forest for granted and use it for our use alone. We must plan, we must clearly understand the nature of the forest. The forests are the source of life for humans, the oxygen of life. If there is an area of forest which is kind of moved down for any kind of construction, it must be replenished in another area. If there is systems of life which is being encroached, it must be replenished with the best structure of soil, and whatever is being taken from nature must be replenished much better with clear planning. And once we respect the goodness of nature and the very reason that we live, once we respect the oxygen that we breathe, is from the forest, is from the trees, is from the ecological systems, and that is what gives the ecosystem of life, the best of food on our plate, the best of water systems, which brings nourishment to humanity at its primal sense. Once we understand this at a primal sense, we'll move our technologies to evolve into the future, into the greatest of technologies. The supercomputers, the quantum computers, the deep learning systems and the biological systems of learning will evolve much better. We will move into the greatest realm of knowledge. IT systems, biological learning in terms of biotechnology, in terms of nanosciences, in terms of space technology. Everything comes to the ground basics of respecting the source code of life, which is our own oxygen and the natural systems of life all around us. Let's replenish our earth. We talked about sensuality. What essentially is sensuality in its fullness? We know that sensuality is very different from sexuality. Sensuality is that energy of the universe which makes us love something that we do. Sensuality is that energy of the universe which makes the pollination of the flowers, which makes the flowers bloom. The sensuality of the universe is that cool breeze moving into your hair, your face. You feel the energy of the universe, of the goodness of the energies of the universe. The warm sunlight which caresses your skin. The wonderful water that you drink when you're absolutely thirsty, to quench your thirst. It's the sensuality of the universe, the sensuality of God's love in your life. It is that essence of the goodness of your children moving into the world and enjoying the goodness of the natural systems of the world. Our children enjoying the best of food which is healthy for their being. The best of rains coming in and helping the best of organic food grow, and the produce coming into our kitchens, our tables, and then nourishing us in terms of the quality of vitamins and the wholesomeness of the food. It is that goodness of the source code of life. And when we talk about sensuality, it is not just sexuality. Although sexuality is the culmination in the physical form of living beings, of the act of sensuality in terms of physicality, for the sake of procreation, for the sake of creating new offspring. But essentially, sensuality is not about creating offspring. It's enjoying the process of creating the best kind of solutions on a human understanding in terms of humanity, working in the present for the future in terms of ideas, in terms of companies, in terms of any field of work that we do, in a total dedication, in love for the profession that we are in. And when we know that we are in love with what we do, we will give 100% best. Just imagine if you are in any profession and you're not really interested in it, but you're doing it for the sake of just passing through, getting returns. You don't enjoy the field of work. Any field that you are in at present might be a field that is not very much interesting to you, but still you are at it because you will have to take care of the daily cares of life. But the 100% dedication comes only from your being loving the work that you do, the field of engagement that you are in this world. And the field of engagement that you are in can be only magnanimous in terms of your meaning of your life only when the sensual energy moves into the field of work that you do, the company that you are in, the field of work that you're working the present for the future. And that sensual energy blooms in its fullness once you have the purpose with the source code of life. Your purpose is what gives you the sensual energy, gives us the sensual energy to enjoy what we do, to love what we do. The earth has a sensual energy which is there for millions of years. The sensual energy of the earth has brought humans to the point of time when they can be one with the creative source code of God. The new inventions, the greatest of learnings have happened in the past 100 years. Sensual energy must bloom in its fullness. We have understood that when there was no sensual energy and when sensual energy was depleted, world wars happened. This energy of suppression took over. People and personalities with the energies of suppression took over. We must encourage the energy of sensuality to bloom in its fullness in this world. New art forms, new terms of understanding of culture, evolution of culture, tradition in its full bloom, just like the beautiful flowers we see in the most beautiful gardens. Our cultures will evolve, our traditions will evolve, our scientific discoveries will evolve through sensuality, and that sensuality comes by having a purpose with the source code of life. The future discoveries will move with the sensual energies of the universe, must and should move with the sensual goodness of our world and the universal energy systems around us. And once we move the future discoveries with the sensual energies of the source code of God, the source code of life, of all of our faiths, we are moving into that very prism of the universal force of life. Let's replenish our earth. Now, as of today, we have got to know that we are humans in its full potential because we've understood the creative energies of life. The creative energies of life is that very source of the universe which makes us one with the source code of life in very minute forms. Is the reason that which the earth has formed all of the wonderful energies of life for us humans to thrive, to survive, evolve and move into the greatest realms of goodness and blessings into the future, provided we respect the very source code of life in all of our inventions. Now, the basic reason that we took advantage of people, and we are taking advantage of people who might be weaker than us, although to smaller degrees as of now, is because of that very basic inert instinct within the human brain. Just like any the animal which predates back to our evolution 50,000 years ago. Today we've got to understand that we are with the source code of life, and anything that we do must only be with the creative source of life, and then we will create win-win situations. In all of our dealings, in all of our understandings, in all of that we do, we will create win-win situations. Just imagine a world where every deal, every transaction, every interaction was based on a win-win approach. Now, you cannot go with a win-win situation with someone who has a carnal instinct, who is trying to take advantage of you, or who does not believe in the concept of a win-win approach. Such people must be dealt with the same energy. If you go with a win-win approach to someone who's trying to deplete your resources, who's with the carnal energy, you will lose. So any kind of energy which comes against the basic force of life with a carnal instinct is a depleted energy. And they have to be dealt with the right way by giving them the right kind of information. If they do not go with the energies of the universe which provides life, then we leave them to their choice of going with their carnal instincts. And going with the carnal instinct is, to an extent, going with the dark energies of the universe. And we know that the end result of the dark energy of the universe of our earth is depletion of the very person who's going to use it, destruction of the very person who's going to use it. Any kind of money, wealth, any kind of inventions made out of dark energy will destroy the same person and the being and the associations of the dark energy. That's the principle of the dark energy. Once we move with the right energy, with the source food of life, which has its own oxygen, it will thrive and prosper into the future, being blessed by the very energies which sustain life for our earth, which has been the millions of years of life of our earth. It's the truth of life. So let's move with a greater zeal with our understanding, and let's try to go with win-win approaches. Let's make the approach which we go into any kind of situation very clear. Let's understand, let's try to make the other party understand that win-win approach is the best solution for any kind of situation. If the other party does not understand and wants to go with their carnal energies, that's their calling in life. And as we said before, once people move with their carnal instinct, trying to get money as fast as possible, they are within the bait, within the trap of the world, and they will go into pits. And when they're going into pits, we can help them, if possible. But once they are within the story of the carnal self alone, trying to grab as much for themselves alone without a clear direction of a purpose to serve the present generation solving problems and for the unborn generations, if they do not have that kind of mindset, let them move in the fastest pace, trying to get all of the things for themselves, and we can be assured they are moving within the dark energy into the deepest pits. And sometimes when people move into the deepest pits, as we said before, they're kind of helpless. We cannot help them. And that might be their calling in life, to create an example for others, not to follow their direction. The win-win approach of life must be the very cornerstone, the very foundation of all of our dealings in the future, into the next 100 years, 500 years, 1,000 years. Just imagine a world when win-win approach was the calling of all humans. Let's replenish our earth. What do we understand by bridges? Let's analyze a world, or let's envision a world without bridges. A bridge is essentially a part of the universal system which helps us understand one territory from the next territory and connect us with one territory to the next territory. Now this territory can be within the mind, it can be physical territories, it can be cultural territories, it can be traditional territories, it can be scientific territories. Bridges are what connects the world. A world without bridges is a totally haywire world, a world which does not cooperate. Cooperation, cooperation within societies, within a country, between two countries, and cooperation across the world is what brings humanity to a magnanimous understanding of the energies of life, which connects all of us through the very oxygen that we breathe. The oxygen that we breathe is that connecting force of our earth among humanity, among all species of life. The water systems of the world are that connecting force of humanity. No matter from the highest level to the lowest level, from the highest traditions to the lowest traditions, from the highest cultures as we see to the lowest cultures as we envision or as we study. Everything is connected by oxygen, water, and the life systems which nourishes us. So bridges are the most essential parts of life. Anyone who works against the universal force of creation, the Woman energies are those bridge destroying forces. They destroy the bridges between nations. They destroy the bridges between cultures. They destroy the bridges between society. They destroy the bridges between their own family. And they destroy the bridges between their own self, destroying themselves. That's a funny part of life. People within a foolish dark energy destroy the very bridge which provides them oxygen, which is the most foolish part to be a human. But still, they validate such behavior. They validate such thought process. Just like any animal without a clear intellect to be with the source code of life. Animals, we respect them because they're animals. They act like animals. But being a human, acting like an animal is the worst insult to humanity. We will move with the source code of life as humans because as of now we've understood we have creativity in miniature forms, and creativity is that bridge of understanding between humans. Creativity is that bridge of understanding which will show us the way into the future in terms of our scientific discoveries, in terms of our evolution of our biosciences, in terms of our evolution of our own biotechnology, in terms of the evolution of the way of life, of the universe, about our surroundings, being one with nature, the forest, the green expanse, the ecosystems which bring us life. All of our discoveries will move into the healthiest of ways, into the future for the unborn generation. Once we respect the basic source code of life, the bridge of creativity, let's replenish our earth. The bridge of prosperity into the future is that understanding between humans. That the bridge of life connects us, the bridge of oxygen connects us, the bridge of water connects us, the bridge of the life systems of the energies of our earth which provides us life, which sustains our life, connects us. The stories that we have built between cultures, between traditions, is for the evolvement of humans into a better realm of living, into a better prosperous way of living. It is not to create misunderstanding, it is not to create wars. As of now, in terms of humanity, we have predated our stories. In terms of the evolution of humans into the future, all of our stories which we believe in, which have absolutely happened, stories within our culture, stories within our faith, is absolutely a fact of life. It has happened. It is an example of life which has been lived. But our stories were for us to have a better future into the evolution of life. In today's humanity, in today's culture, all of our stories will blossom better with the source of creativity. All of the negativity created by humans within the stories that we believe in will be a solution once we dwell on creativity. The bridge of understanding between humans, the bridge of solutions between humans is the form of creativity, the universal source code of our mind, of our universe, the mind of the eternal force of creation. Once we dwell all of our misery created by humans, once we move all of the intense hatred created by the stories that we believe in over thousands of years, maybe hundreds of years. The stories are important, but once it crosses the line and creates enormous enmity between people, we should move those stories into creativity with the source code of life. Each of our countries, each of our societies where there is hatred, where there is wars, where there is turmoil, will create creativity centers, to solve the problems created out of the intense belief systems which has gone out of hand. The purpose of the story, the purpose of the examples of life that we have set in terms of the stories that we believe in terms of what has happened, is for the goodness of the humans into the future, so that there can be a better life system. The God of our faiths has blessed us with the earth and given us all of the life systems of energies for humans to survive, thrive and evolve into the future. And that must be the basics of our stories in terms of creativity. Once we believe in our stories in completeness and develop our cultures, our traditions, our scientific evolution based on our stories as well as with creativity, we will move each of our cultures within each part of our earth along with the source code of life into the future and for the unborn generations. Let's replenish our earth. Sometimes you take a leap of faith in your life and it might work or it might not work. And the leap of faith is associated with what the exact faith is within your subconscious, the real story within your subconscious. Many people take a leap of faith, and sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work. The leap of faith also can turn determinal to their lives in the physical sense and also in terms of their calling, purpose and the end game of their lives. So what exactly is the leap of faith? What exactly is that point in time in a human being when someone just takes a plunge thinking that it will work? The leap of faith can only be successful if you are with the energies of life of our earth. That's a fact. Any other leap of faith, which is about our bodies alone, if it's about our stories alone, which is about us alone, without considering the greater picture of our lives, of why we are humans in the true sense of the meaning, because we are connected with the creative force of life. There was a woman around 300 years back. She had a different choice in life. She had been through all the goodness in life. She had been through all the good things that helped her life. She worked for the luxuries of life. She lived in a kind of palatial areas because her husband was one of the most prominent people within the town, the country also. They looked up to him because he provided the best of architectural information to the royalty of those times, and they were very well off. But this woman was kind of completely displeased about herself. She did not know what was the reason that she was not very happy in life. Her husband was the most respected person within the time because he provided the best of architecture, the best of planning for the best of palaces, the buildings, which were of the best quality in terms of design. The gardens were planned and landscaped by him through his planning and inspiring vision of the best kind of gardens and associated pathways and landscaping, which was appreciated by the huge sections of people of the time. She did not have to work, but she made it a point that she needed to work also in some creative ways so that she could experience life in fullness, not just by trying to enjoy everything in terms of luxury. She knew that working on a purpose was the best way to enjoy life in the present as well as serve the future. So she devised a means by which she could create the best of gardens and provide the best of manure and see that the flowers are in full bloom throughout the year. But still she was sorrowful deep within. She did not know the real meaning of that sorrowfulness. She had a good relationship with the husband, but again, she could not convey to him that she was kind of unhappy in the true sense of the word. Then she reflected back and went to a place of solace. She told her husband, "You have given me everything, the luxuries that I want in my palace as a home. You have given me this house as your own. I have developed the best of gardens around. But those gardens were not with my full work ethic. I could not give the best in terms of how I wanted the garden to evolve. I've appointed certain gardeners and they did the job. And the gardens are in full bloom. But now my heart is very heavy. You have been a good companion, but still I just do not know why I'm unhappy." She traveled with the best horse carts 300 years back. She went up to a mountain and she had heard that there was a grand old sage who had provided the wisdom to the noble men and noble women as to how to live a life of goodness within the heart, soul, mind. And he advised this woman as she confronted him and asked him for the best of advice so that she could get out the immense kind of pain and kind of sorrow within her heart which she did not know the reason behind. And then this wise man told her, "Go into the garden once again. This time, this is our gardens. Now, grow one flower, the best flower which you like. Take one seed and start to grow that flower with full commitment, with full reverence for why you are living on earth. Think of that flower as your own child, that plant which will blossom into the best of flower. And just do this one thing within this particular area for next 1 week in my garden, and then take that seed and go into your garden and just develop one flower as your own. One plant of that beautiful flower." She loved carnation flowers. So she took one of those plants and planted around 5 carnation flowers. And she took care of those carnation flowers as her own children. Now, while she was growing those carnation flowers, she had that motherly instinct within her to look after those carnation flowers as it was glowing in full bloom. When those flowers came up in full bloom, she got the meaning of her life. She had appointed gardeners, supervisors to look after the gardens. Although she loved gardening, her real involvement within the purpose of growing the best of flowers with a personal care was lacking. Also, she had a motherly instinct which was not fulfilled. The wise old sage got to know the reason behind the intense turmoil within her being, because the biological system was craving to give birth along with the natural systems of life of humans, which have been for tens and thousands of years. She was in a prime of years of trying to conceive, but she did not conceive. While she grew these flowers and plants, she got to know that she wanted to have children. Her motherly instinct was craving to have children, and she did not think of having children with a husband till then. Then She told her husband, I want to have a child with you. I've seen my involvement with growing these beautiful flowers and it has gone to full bloom. And I love what I do because I have been involved with growing these flowers. And she and her husband consummated children within a year's time. Those children, she gave them the best of care along with the energies of the earth. She gave them the education with the energies of life because she had personally grown those gardens as per the advice of the sage. And in the same way, her dedication as a mom for her children, giving the right kind of advice, showing them the right kind of way to move with the energies of the earth, which provides life, brought intense comfort and inner joy in her. Now, this is the example in today's world. Not everyone needs to have children. As a woman, to experience the craving deep within our souls, everyone has a dear purpose with the energies of life. Let us recognize that deep purpose once you have reverence for the very oxygen that we breathe. Once we respect the systems of life and meditate at least 3 times a day, maybe 30 minutes each, over a period of time, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, a clear reference of our purpose on earth, which might be different for different people according to their skills, according to their love for what the divine force guides them to do, will be revealed in their lives. And once that purpose is revealed, you will move with the eternal source of life, with your work, with your involvement in any kinds of profession. You will work with dedication, you will work with zeal, you will work with the sensual energy of the universe which provides life to every being on earth. And once we move with such energies on an individual level, societal level, a national level, and as the whole world, with a clear definition of a purpose, along with the source code of life, our inventions, our technologies, our life into the future for the unborn generation will be enormously blessed with health, wealth, and spiritual well-being. Let's replenish our earth. We must understand that today, at this present time, we are within the years of 2000. And the number 2, which is the symbol of the energies of the universe, the 2 energies of the universe which collided and made life possible on earth. The 2 energies of the Alpha and the Gamma, which formed life on earth, which formed the life of the planet, which forms the life of the stars. When 2 energies collide, as we see in the night sky, this is the same energy of life, which is in the years of 2000. And the years of 2000 is absolutely important for humanity. And we respect, once we give absolute importance, credence, and utmost respect for the source code of life, we will be moving into enormous abundance of health, wealth, spiritual well-being, not only for the present generation, but also for the unborn generation. All of our scientific discoveries, which will emerge about 2 energies coming together and forming new creations. Once we respect the creative source of our goodness, we will move with the source code of life into the future. Let's replenish our earth.